The idea for my pick and mix is to use up as much of these goodies as I can. I think it will be pretty tricky for me to use up all the alphabet, but I feel like everything else is pretty usable. Even the Pink Fresh Studio layered stickers, I think I can use them all. I am going to start with a layout, a 12 by 12 layout, because I want to use up this Memories. I think it's really cool and I've had it in my stash for such a long time. It's time to use it up. Just going to lay everything else out so I can get a bit of an idea of what I've got. So when I'm starting on choosing my paper, I can make a decision on what to use. Originally I was going to put the Memories down the side of the page, but I've changed my mind. I'm going to put it in the middle. And I'm just going to check, is there any other pattern paper that I'd like to use? I'd love that yellow, so it's definitely going to be on the page. And I'm thinking maybe this pink stripe for a background. Also grabbed a piece of white cardstock just in case I wanted to do a white cardstock with a framed coloured pattern paper around the edge. But I really want to use a whole sheet of pattern paper, so I'm not going to use the white cardstock. You'll see now that I'm going to cut this into strips of 3" by 12, because I'm thinking I could do 4 of these across a page and distress them and put them really close so that it's almost like one piece of paper but really distressed and with a lot of dimension. I'm not loving this. Not loving this at all. Except for this. I do like this. This looks cute with 3 bits of paper and you can see that it fits perfectly between the flower lines, I suppose you call it, down the page. I think that looks really adorable, but I'm not going to do that. Decided, however, that I do want to use this flower paper for my background, and I'm going to frame it with this blue stripe paper. I originally cut it down just 1/2 inch. I'm going to cut it down by a full inch on either side, so that's going to be 11 by 11, and that gives it a bit more of a frame around the edge. Just switching it around so the stripes are horizontal there. I like that better. Right, I'm going to put my Memories title on, and I do like this. I think this looks quite cool. I've got a couple of bits of the pink paper as my photo mats, and I'm liking the look of that too. I'm going to put on some white cardstock as well for my photo mats. Pull out that yellow paper that I wanted to use because I think it just gives a little pop of something else on the page. And there's little yellow flowers as well in the background paper, so it looks really good. The white and pink are just 3 by 4s, and the yellow is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I want to paint my Memories title, and I'm going to use Shimmerz to do this. So I have 4 colours that I've chosen, and I'm going to decide which one to choose in a minute. I've got Anchors Away, Sky's the Limit, Buddy's Favourite Colour, and Berry Hot. As soon as I pulled them out, I thought, I know I want to use the blue for my title. Which blue? I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to test them. This is Anchors Away. I love this. It's a beautiful colour. That's a Shimmerz. Shimmerz. And I'm going to try the Sky's the Limit as well. But I don't love this. I do love it, but I don't love it as much as the Anchors Away, because the Anchors Away is just so lovely and dark, and it's going to stand out on my page much better than the lighter blue. The lighter blue matches in nicely with the light flowers, and the dark blue matches in really nice with the dark flowers. I just sprayed my title a little bit so that the watercolour moves around a little bit more. And I'm going to keep spraying as I go because it dries quite quickly. You can see how this goes on so nicely. This is really shimmery paint. You won't be able to tell so much from the video, but in real life it is just beautifully shimmery. Almost done. It's got a little bit at the end there. Done. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything special to it at all. I'm now back to my layout, and I'm going to put down my photo mats. I need to cut another bit of white paper because I used the other piece on my testing. I'll cut another piece for the top left. Have a look at my Memories title on the page, and I like that. I think it looks really cool. It stands out enough. Going back to those frames, just don't really feel it. So I'm going to go to my cut aparts, my other bits of paper, have a look and see if there's anything I like. Quite like that one, but I like these two more. I like the idea of sticking with the 3x4 size. So I'm going to cut out documented, and I'm going to cut out this little frame. I also cut out the little typewriter, but I don't like it as much on the page, so I won't be using that one. You can see I'm trying it out, not really liking it. First I think maybe I could just use one of these cut aparts and keep the blue frame, because I'm determined to use it. But yeah, I don't really like it, so I'm going to put on the documented instead. And I think that looks really cool. Decided to add on the little Charm Creations heart as well. I think it looks really cute down the bottom. The only thing is it does take up a bit of the flowers on the little journaling card, covers them up a bit, but that's too bad. I'm now just going to put behind each of the journaling cards the same paper, so the pink and the yellow as well. And I like that, you can see, thumbs up. Thinking about whether I can put those layered stickers on, but I don't really know how I would do that. It just doesn't really quite work for me. So I'm going to try out a few other bits and pieces. These are some chipboard pieces from our Story Matters, and I like them, but I don't love them. I have also cut out some little flowers, fussy cut them out of some paper previously, so I'm giving those a go, and I like them much better. I will put the chipboard to the side, because you never know, might come back to it. And I'm picking out some of the teeny tiny little flowers and some hearts as well. I look at the chipboard sheet, and I like the little envelope, and I like the hot air balloon. I won't end up using them. I actually like the layout how it looks right now, so that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm going to now distress the edges of my piece of paper, my flower paper, put it on, and I'm going to sew around the border. Just going to put on a little bit of tape, because I don't need heaps, because when I use my sewing machine it's going to go all the way around the edge, so it doesn't need to be stuck down super well. Just explaining to you there that I put it up onto my longest stitch that I have. I wanted to have a long stitch on these ones. Going around in a straight line to start with, then after I've done this line, this sewing line, I'm going to go on a wiggly woggly line around the page. So I'm wiggling and woggling back across the straight line that I've stitched. This is just to give it a little bit more whimsy perhaps to the page. Looks quite cute. Here we are, you can see stitched lines. And back to my 3x4 cards. Don't know why that was in there, not going to use that one. And I'm thinking, do I want to stitch these as well? I haven't chosen my photos yet. Going to do that very shortly. I'm just not quite sure. Two things. One, I've never stitched on photos before, so I'm not quite sure how that will turn out. Pretty sure other people have, so you know what could go wrong. I'm also not entirely sure how it would look going around the frame, but it ends up looking quite cute. So here you'll see me do the first one. I'm going to also distress the edges of all the bits of paper as well. I decided to start with the documented because I thought that was the easiest to do, and I hadn't actually printed my photos yet. I'm just going to distress all the edges and very lightly stick them together in a pile. And I just want to make sure that my yellow is showing and my pink sort of sneaks out the edges, because it's obviously the same size as my journaling card, so it just needs to sort of sneak out on the side. Here I am sewing around. For this card I ended up, instead of doing straight and then wiggly woggly, I did a wiggly woggly and then a wiggly woggly. I didn't do that for the other 3x4s. It was a bit of a mistake on my behalf. I don't know why I did that. But I do like how this looks. It's cute. So now I'm going to do the other 3. So again, I'm going to distress all the edges of these, distress the other two already, and then instead of using tape this time I'm going to use glue, which is a lot easier. You can layer your stack up and then just pop a bit of glue in behind instead of having to peel it off, which is quite good. And I'm going to also choose some photos and print those out before I do the stitching. You won't see me put them on though. But again, I'll just stick them on with a little bit of glue. And here we are, stitching again. Trim down my photos just a little bit so that they fit inside of the 3x4 card. And these ones I changed the stitch length to be a little bit shorter. Here we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I think they look great. Now it's time to make commitment and stick everything down. Here's my title. It's beautifully shimmery. Hopefully you can see that on the page. Just going to pop on all my little fussy cut flowers into the right place where I think they need to go. Not going to put that one on for now. And I'm just thinking about using some enamel dots and these cute hearts from Cocoa Vanilla Happy Days. Don't end up using the enamel dots, but I do use the Happy Days hearts. I want to pop up the two photos because the documented and the other journaling card with the charm creation heart are quite strong on the page. So by popping up my two photos, I feel like it pushes them into a bit more prominent position. Just gives them a bit of shadow behind them and they stand out a little bit more. The journaling card and documented are just going to be stuck straight down to the page. You'll notice that I'm not measuring with a ruler or anything because I don't really think I need to. The cards themselves are pretty crookedy, I don't know if that's the word, and the edge of the flower paper, because it's been distressed, it's not super straight, so you don't really need to worry about being particular about whether you're a millimetre off here and there. As long as they're on fairly evenly and eyeballed, then I'm happy. Just going to stick these down. You'll notice that down the bottom I put the little yellow flower up on foam tape. The other ones are just stuck straight down. I think I need to cut out another blue flower for the bottom because it's kind of lacking in blue down there. I'm trying to decide where to pop it, and I don't really like how it's working, so I'm going to cut off that extra leaf, and now I like it. I'm going to pop that up on foam tape as well. And this looks good. I'm happy with this. I do think about cutting out another flower, but I don't think I need it. Pretty happy. Now to glue down my Memories title, I'm just going to glue it down with my Scotch quick dry adhesive. It goes pretty fast on, so I'm not too worried about it moving. And I'm just going to eyeball this as well. Would have been quite cute, sort of angly, but I didn't do that. Now I'm choosing some of my little hearts. Oops, didn't glue that one down. I want to have a blue and, pink and white heart in the top cluster and the left top cluster as well, and the bottom right cluster. I'm having a bit of trouble here, as you can see, trying to figure out where to put the top one. And I decide in the end to settle on a little bit just below the photo where there's a bit of paper, and I'm going to end up having a big white and a small pink up the top and a big pink and a small white down the bottom. And that is almost it. Oh, I just have to do one more thing, and that is glue on my little charm. Using quite a bit of glue because it is made of fabric. And that is it. This came together so quickly, not like me at all, and I just love how it turned out. I love that background paper so much. I'm really happy to have used it up, and I'm really happy to have also used up that Memories. So that's project 1 completed. I'm really happy with that. Stay tuned to find out what other little projects I'm going to make with the goodies that I selected for my first ever Pick and Mix. Thanks for watching.